That's Pat the Designer. I'm Haize. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the Bulls getting a dub. DeMar DeRozan's big 41 points in the game. We'll talk about all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen of the day, a member of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today, Pat, we got not only a dub, we got a playoff dub in Milwaukee to talk about. Come on, man. This felt good, bro. First playoff victory in over 5 years, fam.
Hey, bro. I'm hyped on it. Bro, listen. I need y'all to understand. I didn't even put the mic back on the stand. We was calling the game live. I need to be moving in this one, bro. We just beat the defending champions. At no point did we look like we were getting outplayed. We actually looked like on the defensive end, we were getting the job done at a better clip than they were. They were turning the ball over left and right. We had Drew Holiday flustered. I'm not saying that the rest of the series is going to go like this, but if you're not hyped right now, dog, what are y'all watching? I love what we saw from the Chicago Bulls in this game. I loved what we saw from the Chicago Bulls in this game. Were there moments that you were like, all right, listen, they're coming back. All right, they're chipping it down. You were up 18. Now it's 3. We're getting a little. They're the defending NBA champions. They have Giannis Antetokounmpo on their team. I knew a run was coming. You should have known a run was coming. We all should have known a run was coming. And guess what? When the Bucs made a run, this is a game of runs. It's about how you respond. The Bucs, I mean, listen, a lot of their guys got busy, especially down low in the paint. 33 and 18 for Giannis, 25 and 6 for Brook Lopez, but we responded well. Booch did a good job today, knocked down that 3 ball at a 4 for 8 clip. Was absolutely out there just making himself such a threat that you couldn't just sit down there, and you saw the immediate effect of it, right? The paint wasn't littered with green jerseys tonight. DeMar DeRozan had room to operate. He had moved to make a little crossover. Let me get a step back. Now he still hit his hand in the face. There's nothing you can do about this. My name's Debo. Check me out, Mr. Fourth Quarter. He still had that moment, right? But there was so many opportunities for the Bulls to attack the paint tonight based on the fact that they shot the 3 ball well. And it's not like they came out and they shot 47 of them mugs. What we go to the last game? 7 for 37?
Mm-hmm. 12 for 25 tonight for 48% overall.
25 3-pointers. That's a nice percentage. That's not too much, not a crazy amount. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to be the Golden State Warriors. We're just trying to come out of here and force these mugs to have struggles and attack the things that they do struggle at. Now, here's the thing. The Bulls, how'd they get back into it? The Bucs got back into it with free throws and the fact that the Bulls started to turn the ball over themselves. There are some things from this game that I look at and I say, hey, you're going to have to adjust a little bit on that. You're going to have to change a few things. But at a minimum, right, don't you feel like now with a dub going back to the United Center for Game 3 with the UC fans ready to get cracking in that mug, and you finally beat one of those top teams that the monkey might be off of the Chicago Bulls back as far as we're struggling versus these teams that are in this position?
Well, let's be clear. The Bulls could have very well won Game 1 as well, right? I think when you look at both the totality in which the Bulls have played in both games in Milwaukee, I don't know if it gets the monkey off their back fully, like just trying to be realist with it, but there's definitely steps in the right direction, and you get supreme confidence being in your own building in the next 2 games. The Chicago Bulls, the way that they've played in the playoffs so far, I have to take off my hat to them. The defense intensity has been there, and they did what exactly we said that they needed to do better from last game. That's hit their shots. 49% overall from the field in this game, 48% from three-point range, 93% from free throw. This team shot the ball very well, very much better while maintaining that defensive intensity that we saw in the last game. Patrick Williams in this game did, again, something that we talked about in the last game. He had that defensive intensity, kept it up when he was guarding Giannis. He had 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 10 points. And a lot of those points came. They didn't necessarily have Giannis out of the game like they did last time, but they moved Giannis to start guarding Vooch so he would be there on pick and rolls. And because of that allowed a weaker defender to be on Patrick Williams, and we saw them go to him, and him hit the shots 5 for 9 to get 10 points while guarding the other team's best player when you're on defense. I'll take it every single time. Vooch as well. Vooch, come on now. Like Vooch haters got to just sit down at this point.
Hey,
man.
bro.
Vooch haters got to sit down.
Bro, the Vooch haters got to relax, bro. I'm still seeing like I still want to trade him, though. If you want to trade anybody, bro, if the trade we not getting on the trade train. We done. But, dog, y'all know who. I ain't even going to say a name. Y'all know who. Mr. 2 turnovers, 10 minutes. Y'all know who. Come on now.
And then let's I don't want this to go overlooked as well. We got to talk about Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso only 9 points, right? 38 minutes in this game, but he had the highest plus minus of any player in this game, not just the Chicago Bulls. I'm talking about Milwaukee Bucks as well. The highest plus minus in the game overall. Alex Caruso was all over the floor. He gave you assists when you needed him. He got key rebounds when you needed him. He got steals when you needed him. And he just was he went back to being that irritant. There were so many times in which Alex Caruso got rotated on Giannis, and I literally for a second was like, oh shit. and literally
that's our one.
Caruso forced Giannis to pass out of it sometimes, and it was like, okay, all right, Caruso. This was a great win from our Chicago Bulls, brother. A great win
all the way around, and you can't talk about Caruso enough, right? Because it's not the scoring that we need from I will say this, right? And I think that this is something that's big. Caruso took 8 shots tonight. 7 of them were 3-pointers. One of them was that weird floater that he absolutely had no idea what he wanted to do with it. Mm-hmm. Like, he got down low and he was like, ain't nobody else gonna move with me, and just threw that mug up. But he took 7 3-pointers here, picked his spots a little bit better, and even off of the 3-point line, right, he started to create action, not off of his 3-point shot, but off the fact that they had to respect his 3-point shot. So you saw a couple times he pump fake. What the heck is Chris Middleton doing? It's probably how he got hurt, jumping out of his Nikes out of here, flying to the other side of the court, and then all of a sudden off of that, you're able to drive in, and you're able to kick off of that, or you finish at the paint, right? We saw him do more of the drive and kick in that situation, and it worked so well. 10 assists for Alex Caruso tonight. Did a good job on that. And I mean, listen, when you're talking about like just being right place, right time, that to me was Zach LaVine tonight. I know a lot of people are going to look at it and say, Zach LaVine only had 20 points. He only had 1 rebound. He only had 3 assists. He was 7 for 13. Yeah, he was 3 for 4 from 3, but I need more than 20 points from my superstar. I need more than 20 points from my max player. I need my max player to be in the right place at the right time. Zach LaVine, at every point tonight, when you needed that big 3 ball to start the run back up, when you needed that key drive to get down low, Zach LaVine was that guy that was able to come out and get you that. Now, was it to the point that we wanted? No. But listen, I'm also not going to shift my narrative. You stick with the hot hand. When the hot hand gets cold, then you go away from the hot hand. I am not opposed to iso ball. I am opposed to taking bad shots while trying to do iso ball. Tonight, we didn't see DeMar DeRozan do that, and we'll get into that a little bit more in the next segment. But I mean, I think that moment, right, just being ready to be there, being ready to make a play is so huge, because we've seen so many people not be able to do that. When the moment is called, are you able to make a play? Zach LaVine tonight was able to do that for you.
Yeah, Zach LaVine did what needed to be done in this game. He hit the key shots that needed to be. He hit a key 3-pointer in the 4th quarter. And one thing that you said in the last one is that Zach LaVine's 3-point shooting was going to be needed. He showed up tonight, 3 for 4 from 3-point range, and every one of those were absolutely needed. This Bulls team, we didn't get a bunch of contributions from the bench. Let's be clear here. The bench was almost a no. But the fact that our starters, the playoff rotation shrink, our starters showed up and they played every minute like it mattered, like it was important, and like they understood the gravity of the moment playing in this and what this game and the momentum that they can pick up off this game meant. And that you can't shake your head at all. Shout out to Billy Donovan for making adjustments as well. And before we get into talking about DeMar DeRozan's night, first, I want to talk to you guys about BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. Find out the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoff and the start of Major League Baseball season. BetOnline is your continued source for all your wagering information, from live betting to playoffs to esports and more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Well, Pat, since I've been sick, we've been missing a little bit of the flavor, brother. You got to bring that flavor back.
Yeah.
And so next up, we got to talk about it. The King of the Fourth was back today, showing up with 41 points, a much-needed 41 points, scoring with Giannis in his face, man. There were several times in which he did some baskets that it was just like, listen, I know Giannis doesn't really show a lot of emotions, but if that wasn't demoralizing, listen, Giannis is not a human. What do you think about the 41 points from DeMar DeRozan, our King of the Fourth tonight?
DeMar got one of them crossovers, bro, that you feel like you should never fall for. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. And he be getting Muzz going the wrong way. He had Giannis with a little right left, and Giannis was over there. And I was like, ooh, oh, God, oh, dog, no, what are you doing out there? Listen, you can't talk enough about what DeMar DeRozan did. And for me, right, this is the reason why he gets those shots, why he gets the 6 for 25 moments. Now, there, for me, I would like there to be that moment where it switches in his head, where he's like, the shots aren't falling, I'm gonna get the offense more involved. But it's games like this that get you to that level. It's games like this that get you that separates you from being a nice playoff team to being a team that can beat the defending world champions. And it's games like this that, for me, right, we need to see from everybody on this team at some point moving through the series. DeMar DeRozan tonight, 41 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 16 for 31, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. But here's the key thing for me, and this is the biggest part of tonight. DeMar was locked in defensively. DeMar came to play defensively. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think now, every app be a little bit different, but I think my app is cheating him out of some points on here. Let me see what Google got on here as well. They're not even showing me his steals. I think it's cheating him out of some steals. I said points, out of some steals. They say he only got 1 steal, but I remember the ball falling in his hands twice in the first quarter going the other way. Maybe I was misremembering that, but 1 steal, 2 blocks for DeMar DeRozan in this game. The defense, oh, by the way, those 2 blocks, end of the quarter and start of the next quarter on Giannis Antetokounmpo, really setting the tone on the defensive end, ending a quarter and beginning a quarter. And to me, that's the most important thing you can do. I need my stars to play good defense. When you saw Milwaukee start to come back into that game, they started to lax a little bit defensively. They got in the huddle, they get it back together. Caruso's like, hey, we can't be doing this. We got to. All of a sudden, now you see Debo come out, another big play. Zach come out, gets a steal. Vooch gets a steal. You know what I'm saying? They start to pile up. Now your stars are setting your tone defensively, and it turns into good things on the offensive end. I love what we saw from DeMar DeRozan tonight, and I just keep it up, brother. Like, there's nothing I can say about that. I know Muzz are going to complain about the ISO ball a little bit, but if we're being 100% honest, bro, like we were saying, it can't just be go to the hot hand when it's Vooch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It can't just be go to the hot hand when Vooch is getting a shot up. It has to be go to the hot hand whenever that's the hot hand. Tonight, DeMar DeRozan was the hot hand, and he never really lost the touch.
These are all facts. And then on top of that, as much as people want to talk about, if people are talking about the ISO ball, DeMar DeRozan split the double teams very well tonight. Yep. He passed out of double teams very well. He didn't force it when double teams came. Now, when the second person came over slow, DeMar knew he was going to get the foul, and he kept the ball there, and he made smart plays. But I like what DeMar DeRozan did when he was doubled tonight. So the ISO ball conversation for me is null and void for this game because of the way that they did it. And the way that this team overcame that and used the ISO ball to its advantage. And also, one thing that we need to talk about as well, we didn't talk about as much, the Bulls using the small ball to their advantage against the Milwaukee Bucs is a thing of beauty. But this segment's for DeMar DeRozan. DeMar did his thing this game, man. And seeing because DeMar's one of those players that you do trust what he says. After that game, saying, "Hey, I'm not going to shoot this bad again," to come in and respond with this type of game heading into Chicago, that's what you expect from your veteran. He's the one that's been here before, right? He's the one who's been through long playoff battles, and so because of that, he was everything that you needed DeMar DeRozan to be in this game. Everything.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And for me, right, like I'm it's the question comes in, right? Do you have to have DeMar have this game to win? Do you
No.
have to have DeMar have a 41-point game through the rest of this series to win these games? And the reason I say that, because you think about the last 2 wins we've had, they've been 50 from DeMar and 41 from DeMar. Other guys have been involved in both of those games. Vooch played well. Vooch played well in that Clippers game as well. But other than that, like, we've had those high-scoring outputs from DeMar DeRozan. Now, granted, in this game, I think we've seen much more on the defensive end from the rest of the team. So, like, do you feel like you need him to go for 41? Because I feel like this was more of a, hey, he's hitting, let him do it. Instead of, we have no other option, let him keep going.
We have nothing else, DeMar, save our lives.
It didn't feel like that.
That's not what this was tonight at all. This was absolutely a, hey, DeMar's cooking. Let's go to DeMar. But so to answer your question, the way that you presented it was, do we need a game like this from DeMar to win? No, because we could have won last night without DeMar having this type of game. So, no, I don't think that's the case at all. I think that we can definitely win this game, win games against the Milwaukee Bucks, as long as the defensive intensity is there and the Bulls are shooting well. It doesn't mean we need a Herculean effort from DeMar DeRozan for us to be able to be in those games. Does it make it easier? Yes. But no, I think hey, down the stretch, I think Zach would have been able to step up if needed. So I like what we're doing here, and I think the key thing is, as much as DeMar's going to get the headlines for the 40 points, is that one thing that always holds true, that when the Bulls win, when the Bulls are successful, when the Bulls look like the offensive juggernaut they can be, it's Nikola Vucevic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. He's so key, bro. And the fact that he stepped up the way he has, like, as a guy that's been defending Vooch literally from game 1 all the way through game 82, I'm just sitting here like, I told y'all. I don't know what y'all was watching, but for some reason in the playoffs, y'all, it's a whole different game. And I feel like it's even with Debo, right? Even with DeMar, do you feel like this is the beginning of, like, I don't know if this changes the DeFrozen narrative. Like, I feel like it's mad disrespectful that Bulls fans we be calling them that. But I feel like this changes the narrative, but not completely, right? Like, I feel like there's still a lot to go, because he got that narrative from being cold in the Eastern Conference Finals, not in the first round, not in the second round. And so, like, to me, like, this is the first step. And there's a lot of storylines here, bro, where there's a lot of things that could happen that I could see the Bulls going into, and we're going to talk about, what's going to happen in this third game coming up at the UC, by the way. What's going to happen though, but there's a lot of narratives here that could be broken in the beginning of this. I mean, Zach LaVine breaking a ton of narratives around his name. Oh, he's just a dunker. He can't score. He's not, you're not going to get to a playoffs with a player like that. He's not going to be a part of a championship level roster, stuff like that. DeMar still trying to break those narratives in year, whatever this is of his career, 13, 14, something like that. So, like, was this the first step of it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that when you look at not being able to beat top teams, we beat a top team. Not being able to hold on to leads, we held on to a lead. Not being able to keep up the defensive intensity, we were intense defensively from start to finish. Billy Donovan not being able to make adjustments. Billy Donovan absolutely made adjustments in this game. Yeah. This game goes a long way in stopping a lot of the stigma and narratives around the Chicago Bulls. Now, they have to maintain it,
right?
But it definitely is a step in the right direction.
I love it, man. I love it. We got a playoff dub, bro. I don't know if y'all can tell the excitement that's coming from us in this mug through this video or listening to us wherever you can get your podcast on the Locked On Network. Check that out. But bro, like, we are. I can't believe Like, not to say I didn't think the Bulls were going to get a win in this at all, but this is really like, this to me is the biggest win we could have got in this series because now it sets up so much momentum for you. But hey, we want to thank y'all for making Locked On Bulls your first listen. For your next listen, check out Locked On Now podcast, nightly recaps of every NBA game with analysis from our local experts. It's free and available wherever you get your podcast. Also, we want to tell you guys about Built Bar. I've been telling you about Built Bar for so long now. If you haven't tried the puffs at this point, y'all are tweaking out here. You're missing out at this point. I mean, listen, it's the best tasting bar on the market, and the puffs are protein infused marshmallows. What are we talking about here? Oh, by the way, covered in 100% real chocolate, straight fire out here. It's a low-calorie, high-protein replacement for a candy bar, and it's better. A typical candy bar can be anywhere between 200 to 300 calories, whereas a Built Bar, most Built Bars are 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, 17 grams of protein. And the best thing about Built Bar, man, they worry about how it tastes. They want to make it taste delicious first, and then they figure out how to make it healthy. Haize, I keep telling them, they don't know. They do it every time. I don't know how, but they do it every time. Here's the offer for you, though. Go to Built.com. Use the promo code LOCK15 to get 15% off of your order. Use the promo code LOCK15 at Built.com for 15% off of your order.
All right, now. So, heading home back to the UC for 2 games in a row. The Bulls tied 1-1 in the series, headed to the UC. I'm sure the United Center is going to be rocking Friday night. Now, we got a couple of injury updates for the Milwaukee Bucs. Bobby Portis got blasted in the eye. He was bleeding and everything. It was actually a pretty wild scene to see. But also, Chris Middleton officially is sprained MCL. Now, he's going to get an MRI tomorrow where more details will come out to see exactly how long he's going to be out. But, Pat, I asked you this. Bobby Portis, Chris Middleton, even if it's just one of the two, let's say it's Middleton. Let's say Bobby Portis, because, Bobby's crazy. Let's say he throws a patch on his eye. He's out there playing like a pirate. It's Bobby Portis.
See it.
Exactly. But Chris Middleton potentially missing the rest of this series. Sprained MCLs could be 2 to 3 weeks of being out. How does this change the dynamic of the series to you, especially heading into Chicago for 2 games?
Bobby Portis is their energy. Now, I will say this. I hope the NBA kind of checks in, and maybe not even on some like basketball stuff. I hope they check in on Bobby on concussion protocol in general, because I don't know if y'all saw it, right? Like, he got hit in the eye. Did you see how he fell?
Yeah.
Like, it looked like he passed out on the court for a second, and they never really went back to that, like, to show how he fell down. They just showed him getting hit in the eye, and he was down for a while, and then he gets up, comes down the court, of course. But I hope the NBA at least checks on him. Not like, I want him out of the series, so put him in concussion protocol, but like, that looked like a pretty serious hit from Tristan Thompson. But he's their energy. He's their heart. He's their Alex Caruso. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that's going to do anything it takes to get you a dub. You saw on that, I mean, even when he was in the game, right? He goes in for a dunk on Tristan Thompson, doesn't get the dunk, goes into the crowd, starts screaming. He's hyping himself up. But at the same time, he's hyping himself up. But guess what? Now, on the other side, right, the Bucs are getting hype off of that. The fans are getting hype off of that. There's a lot that plays into what Bobby Portis brings to a game. He's that I will do anything for this win guy. Chris Middleton, right, he started to show you tonight the difference he can make in a series. If Chris Middleton stays in this game is a lot tougher to get for the Bulls. Not to say they wouldn't get it. I think Caruso did good on him most of the game. But when Chris Middleton starts to heat up, he's the player that they paid that much money for, right? Mm-hmm. On other times, he's the guy that is 5 points in the first half. So the fact that there's always that fear of that heading into game 3 here, like, if he's not able to play, that would be huge for the Bulls, because now, at a minimum, right, you still got to guard with Wesley Matthews a little bit better at the 3-point line. But other than that, right, like, you're talking about, I can focus on Drew and I can focus on Giannis. I'm probably not going to be able to stop Giannis, but if I can slow down Drew, that means so much to this series. And for me, right, that changes everything that the Bulls can do offensively coming down the final stretch of this. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it makes one of the key things that I talked about even coming into game one is that the Bulls needed to find ways to play solidly, if not stop 3 out of the 4 of Lopez, Middleton, Portis, and Holiday.
There's
If
no
you're taking 2
stopping
of those
Brooke,
guys
apparently.
off the, if you're getting 2 of those guys off the table right away, that means you gotta focus on. Of course, now Wesley Matthews becomes more of a threat. Like I don't want to act
Yeah.
like Wesley Matthews is anything to just be like, oh, kid, go do your thing. That probably means Ibaka's going to be playing more minutes too if Bobby's out. Which Ibaka, again, while not the 3-point threat that Portis is at all, but Ibaka could definitely make some things interesting for Vooch down low. But that really does change the way that you need to guard this team, and it makes it a little bit easier too. Now, we've seen with the Bulls. The Bulls let role players go off sometimes. So could very well be Matthews goes off on us. But with all that being said, heading back into Chicago with Portis and Middleton possibly missing, if at least that first game, if not both games, bro.
It's series changing. It could be series changing.
Absolutely.
It could change the series. Like at a minimum, right? Like I'm not a Chris Middleton guy. I'm more so not a Chris Middleton guy because I don't think he should have been paid that money. Like he's a very nice player, but for that money, he's very up and down. But Chris Middleton absolutely does a lot. He's your defensive anchor on that team outside of Giannis. Like he's the guard that absolutely adds that length, adds that clamp. You heard Caruso tonight. I don't know if you watched it on TNT or NBC, but you heard Caruso tonight say, "Hey, he's big coming down there. He's 6'7". He's getting himself going, and he's big and long. He's 6'7". Like he's not a small dude. So the threat of him, and when he actually starts to get himself going, he kind of becomes unstoppable, right? Like in that game where the Bulls got beat real bad by the Bucs, you saw Chris Middleton knocking down shots, hand in his face, taller guy over him. It didn't matter. Like when he gets himself going, he's actually a really, really good player. The thing is, some of those games are going to be very up and down. Like you saw in the first game, you started to see him get it going here in the second game. And so to me, at a minimum, right, in this series alone, it opens the window for the Bulls to take a couple of games while they're injured. And listen, you want to have that. I don't have to have that tough guy bravado. I don't have to have we got to beat the best to be the best. I watched Giannis beat Brooklyn with no Kyrie, no James Harden. I don't need to beat the best to be the best. I just need to beat the team and keep moving along in the playoffs. So for me, this is a good starting point. This is a changing starting point. Not them getting hurt is a good starting point, but the fact that you got to win is a good starting point. This is a game-changing point here now that those two are out and going into this game 3, bro. There's a real opportunity, and the Bulls have to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they have to. At the end of the day, you have to play who's in front of you. And just like ain't nobody cutting the Bulls any slack because we're missing Lonzo Ball, ain't nobody gonna cut the Bucks any slack because they potentially could be missing players. It sucks, right? I'm glad that I'm not one of those people who want to see any dirty things happen or anything to get players out of there. But hey, karma's a mother.
Almost.
Hey, I saved myself. Karma's a mother. And so that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And if the Bulls can capitalize off of it, they need to do what they need to do.
Yeah. And it's like you said, you don't wish it on anybody. I really do hope that's why I started it. I really do hope the NBA checks out Bobby Portis for a possible concussion. I don't know if they have that like independent guy like the NFL does, but I really hope they do because like to me, it looked like Bobby Portis got hit and he passed out. And nobody said nothing about it. Like we said it on the live call immediately over on the Breeze. We were like, yo, is somebody gonna check? Like nobody, bro, they didn't stop play. They didn't check on him. They didn't do a take foul. They just let it happen. I was tweaking. I was like, what is happening right now? So I sincerely hope that Bobby Portis is okay. And I sincerely hope that Chris Middleton isn't, set up for a long rehab with this. And a sprained MCL could be sprained. It could be something more serious. And so let's hope that, I do wish health on everybody out there. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt.
That is a fact. Well, Pat, that's it for us for today. You got anything to add, man?
1-1, baby. We going back home to the UC.
Yeah. We going back home, fam. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how the United Center is rocking Friday.
hey, it's going to vibrate. You'll feel it where you are. Like, no matter where you are, it's going to vibrate. It's the most amazing feeling in the world where you just sitting there and you're like, is there a bulldozer coming or something? No, that's just everybody shaking their legs right now. Hey
Gotta
man, let's get
love
up
it,
out of
man.
here though, man. Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. That's PatTheDesigner. Yes, I did go to public school, but they taught me how to spell. And follow us on Locked On at Locked On Bulls on everything.
You can follow me at CEO Haize, at CEO Haize. This has been another episode of Locked On Bulls. Thank you for making us your first listen. Now, for your second listen of the day, go and listen to Locked On NBA, where you have the Locked On analysts giving you breakdown analysis of everything going on around the NBA, and that is available wherever podcasts are available. But that is it for us for today. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. We out. See you guys, hopefully, after some more dubs come the next time we see you guys. But all right, man. Peace,
Oh
y'all.
yeah, we don't got another one till Sunday, dude.
Oh no,
We
wait. No, we got one more.
got one more, and then we got something. We'll see y'all on the. Hey, if they win Friday, we might have to go live. It is what it is. We'll see.
We'll see. All right, y'all. Love y'all, beautiful people, man. We out, y'all. Peace, y'all.